What's up, otakus? It's your tour guide here. Just kind of recovering from the weekend, so getting ready for the work week, and man, it was a great weekend. You know, some legends stopped by the channel yesterday. Sleepy Reader, Metarog, Comics with Bueller. Three guys have been doing it a long time. Really sort of showing everybody how it's done. Probably the three of them have more knowledge than most of the community in terms of books. Guys who are really passionate about the hobby. Again, a wealth of knowledge. It's really to see those guys, visit our channel last night and just hang out with us. It was a great honor. It was a great privilege. And yeah, I'll never forget it. It's one of those experiences that make me appreciate this, not only the hobby but the community. Like, those three guys exemplify what this hobby's about, right? Just first class people, and guys who just really have a love for this hobby. And I definitely love this hobby. I think for me, because I'm getting back into it, and also because I just don't have the knowledge. I think that's something I'm going to be working on. Just kind of doing my due diligence, kind of my homework, and really continuing to learn more about what this hobby has to offer, because there's just a wealth of, it's an entire world in and of itself, and gotta kind of break out of my kind of safety zone in terms of what I collect, and try to add more, try to broaden what my tastes are, my likes are. But anyway, shout out to those guys. You guys are great. Thank you for gracing our channel with your presence. This video is going to be the top 22 modern keys I picked up this year. And again, we're just doing these sort of curated lists. I'm going to cover also the top keys from the 90s, top keys from the 80s, top keys from the 70s and prior. And then we'll kind of delve into some of the artists that I collect. We'll probably do top Neil Adams books, top Peach Momoko books, and of course we're probably going to end with the top Jim Lee books. And I don't know if I'm going to do the top 22 Jim Lee or the top 50 Jim Lee, because we picked up a lot of Jim Lee, so we could definitely do 50 easily. We might lean toward 50, but that's kind of what's coming up. So again, this is going to be the top 22 modern keys, and by modern I mean like year 2000 to the present, so the past 22 years of comics. And it wasn't really, again, I got back into collecting just last year, so it's been like, in terms of the past 20 years, it's really been a vacuum for me in terms of what's come out, who's out there, and what the key books are. But fortunately for me, I've had help with some of the apps and some of the channels that are out there that kind of cue you in on what the significant books are. And they're just these books, nothing's really like wow, knock 'em dead type modern keys. It's because I just don't collect this era. The stuff that I kind of picked up, they're just keys, and I picked them up because of that fact. So a lot of these aren't necessarily things I really want to keep in the collection. These are just books I'll probably use to either trade, hopefully sell, but find a way to, get some kind of value out of them toward, again, the books that I really want to add. And so I think in the coming year, we're going to try to, and I mentioned this before during the year, that we were going to try to stay away from picking up these kinds of books and focus more on the stuff I want. But, sometimes, if it's a $30 book, you just can't leave it there, right? You gotta at least pick it up for half a cover and then hope to flip it or do something with it. At least get a little bit more of the value than what you got it for. So again, got a lot of these for half a cover, and we're just trying to make more than that at some point. That's, again, it's going to be we're working. It's going to be one of those slow kinds of endeavors, but that's what makes this hobby so fun. So picking up these books, kind of enjoying them for now, and then at some point, if they get hot or if people want them, we'll find a way to trade or upgrade for the books we want. Alright, so let's get to the list. Here we go. Number 22, we start out with Silver Surfer Black. Number 2, Donny Cates, Tradd Moore. Very unique art style Tradd Moore has. Now, this is a key because Silver Surfer becomes the Void Knight, and he just becomes, I guess, an agent of Null. Again, I'm not too familiar with the story. I mean, this isn't something I collect, but apparently this is a key, and so who knows if Silver Surfer. I'm sure Silver Surfer's coming to the MCU when Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer make their debuts. Hopefully, this book will will climb a bit in terms of value. All right, number 21, we've got the New Avengers. This for me was a little bit of a great cover there by Mike Deodato Jr. New Avengers 7. This is a key because this is where Atlantis and Wakanda declare war. It's a great battle between T'Challa and Namor. So pick that up. Number 20, we picked up the Good Asian. Pichette Schott. Pichette Schott is the author of this sort of crime noir comic book. Its protagonist is this Chinese American. He's of the generation, he was born when the U.S. passed the Chinese Exclusion Act, which barred Chinese immigration. It was really a racist policy to protect, pretty much protect white labor. Apparently all kinds of crazy, racist crimes are happening, or crimes are happening in this sort of systemic racist environment around the Chinatown in San Francisco, I'm assuming. And this guy is the only one who really wants to get to the bottom of it and find out what's going on. So this is just, for me, a book like this is great on many levels. First of all, it's presenting, Asian American history to a certain extent. It's dealing with current themes. We've seen a lot of, we're continuing to see violence against Asian Americans. There's sort of this anti-Asian rhetoric that's floating around due to political reasons. Obviously, with China as sort of our economic rival, a lot of animus, I guess you could see why that would be a natural, unfortunately, a natural type of sentiment to take place, which is very relevant because that's kind of what was happening here, right? And it still continues even to the modern day. So, stuff like this is really great stuff. And I just hope, Pichette Show gets more opportunities to work for, because this was not only nominated for the Eisner Book of the Year, Pichette Show got, I think he got awarded like Best Newcomer, or he got awarded and recognized for this great piece of comic book writing. We've got Batman 686, so this is just a great, anytime you have, Neil Gaiman, great writer, one of my favorites. Anytime you have him working on a Batman book, you want to collect it. So we were able to pick up this one, and we're able to pick up the variant cover of Alex Ross, variant cover of Alfred. Absolutely, I mean, this is just a beautiful cover. The black cover there, the tux. It's kind of cleaning, or just kind of getting the suit ready, or sewing it up, or something like that. Just a nice Alex Ross piece there. That's sort of one comic right there, not two. Number 19. Number 18, this is The Death of Alfred, Batman 77, so Alfred dies in this one. That's what makes this key. I mean, even though he dies in this one, he's not going to stay dead. You can't keep someone like Alfred. He's just part of who Batman is, so I don't know why they killed him off, but they tend to kill people off in Batman, and then they somehow make their way back, so looking forward to that when they bring Alfred back. Number 17, we have Miles Morales. Number 10, this is a key because the Earth 616 Smiles makes it to this book. It's the first appearance of that. I think there's another key appearance in this as well. This one is the Immortal variant, and I'm assuming this is a symbiote or something, but it's basically a wraparound cover of like Miles' symbiote absorbing him. And a Pascal Ferry cover, pretty cool. Next we have Astonishing X-Men number 3. It's the first appearance of Abigail Brand, and not sure who that is, but great cover. Love that cover. Next we have Uncanny X-Men number 500, and this has just a wonderful cover by Alex Ross. Alex Ross has just done so many great covers, but I don't think I've seen too many I haven't seen too many X-Men Wolverine type covers, so it's great to really get something like that. This is also a wraparound cover, but you see Gambit, Nightcrawler, look at that Nightcrawler. Alex Ross version of Nightcrawler is just very nice, and Wolverine, of course, looking ever menacing. Great cover there. Love that one. here we have Young Avengers number 12. This is a big key. This is where Tommy Shepard becomes Speed. And I think also this is where Kate Bishop just takes on the name of Hawkeye as well. Great Jim Chung cover. Jim Chung's an artist that who we've just really, as I got back into comics, I've discovered and I'm really liking his art. He's just a really great artist, so love his work. This one is the first appearance of Angela in Marvel Comics. I think the first full. It's the cover and the first full appearance. So that's always, these kinds of appearances are always the ones that collectors want. I think there is a cameo. But anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy number 5. And you know the whole story around the Neil and Todd. I've told that story many times, but this is sort of like the whole arc. I kind of collect that spat between Neil and Todd. So obviously I want all the Angela books I can get, and this is sort of the final book in the arc of that Angela story. We've got World War Hulk, the final issue, and this is the first appearance of Hulk's son Scar, who was introduced in the She-Hulk series. I really like the She-Hulk series. I think I would love to see it get more seasons, and really, people should be, if you guys want to see like She-Hulk and more content like that, people need to be more vocal about their support. I heard people had a problem with it, and I just don't see it. I mean, it was touted as a lawyer show, right? Like a legal / comedy type series. If people were expecting Avengers from She-Hulk, you didn't get the memo, right? It's supposed to be She-Hulk is a lawyer, so it's supposed to be a law, revolve around legal issues. So because around toward the end of summer, I think after San Diego Comic-Con, we got news of Secret Wars, right? And that was just like the most exciting, probably the biggest news of 2022 when they announced that movie, because it just, it gave Phase 6 a landing point, and it also just set up so many avenues of speculation. And I think, one thing we can all agree on is Dr. Doom is going to be the villain, because he was the villain in both the modern Take of Secret Wars and the original classic Secret Wars, Jim Shooter's. So we know he's coming. It's just like, will it be him, or will it be like him and the Beyonder? Or there's just some questions about where they're going to lean. I think they're going to draw from both series, and it's not going to be a direct, they're not going to bring Shooter's version, they're not going to bring Hickman's version. They're going to just take the best elements from each and really create an original story around Doctor Doom and the multiverses, right? This is something that the concept they brought in, and so there's going to be some kind of event that creates, basically creates a new timeline where they're fighting Doom, and they have to, do something to restore it, right? Restore everything to what it was. So that's kind of, I think, where we can kind of bank on, right, in terms of Civil War. but how they get there is going to be very interesting, because they've got Avengers, they've got Fantastic Four, they're going to bring probably the X-Men, the mutants, right? So it'll just be very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how things progress, and it's going to be like a lot of just like bringing this character in, that character in, just things we've never seen before. So very excited about that. And then part of that is like Secret Wars Battle World. I don't know if this will be necessarily something that'll be in the movies, but hopefully this will, something out of here will make it into that. And what makes me hopeful is this is the first work by Donny Cates for Marvel, and so that makes it kind of key. So we're just trying to pick up stuff like this, as I think I picked this up for 50 cents, and for 50 cents as a speculation buy, I'll keep it in my collection. Who knows what'll happen? So just trying to pick up books like that. And that's kind of what you're gonna see from here, like in the next couple of pickups here. First of all, we've got this great Gabriel Del Otto cover of Doctor Doom there with his mask off, looking ominous. Again, this is I think the first incursion where the universes sort of kind of collide on Earth, and it kind of sets up the Secret Wars. And then we get the Secret Wars preview, the great Alex Ross cover too in there. Again, just kind of like I'm looking for stuff like this on the hunt and trying to pick up as much of it as I can. I should probably also pick up all the original run of the Secret Wars. Fortunately for me, I picked up some of the keys, like 8 and 1 in that run prior to that. I mean, I picked it up last year basically, as I got back in, and those were good pickups because those have gone up quite considerably since that news broke, and I imagine that will continue to just keep on climbing. So I don't know if I will necessarily get the classic ones because they're kind of out of reach, but these modern ones they're still like hanging around, and you can find them as half price books, and you can find them in like bargain bins. So I guess people will start to see movement on these as we get closer to the release date. So I picked up this one, Free Comic Book Day. Again, this one's kind of always lingering around and stuff. You can pretty much pick it up on the cheap. But I picked this one up. I think I got this for free. Yeah, I think I got it for free, so won't pass that up for free. I didn't cover one because I did pick up one, but I'm not covering because I covered it in my top first issues list, so leaving it off this one. Next we've got Secret Wars #2, and this is the big key in the run because this is the first appearance of God Emperor Doom. And then also it's got this great Alex Ross cover of all these multiverse Thors in there. You see Beta Ray Bill in there, Odin, all holding different versions of Mjolnir. Not sure what's going on here, but pretty epic. Looks like there's a Storm Thor. Is that supposed to be Storm? Storm is apparently a goddess of Asgard. Next week, this is I kind of got caught up in a FOMO buy last winter, about a year ago, when Book of Boba Fett came out. I think there's just a lot of hype around the introduction of Black Chrysanthemum. I mean, when he made his debut, it was just like, whoa, there's like this bounty hunter Wookiee. And I was just like, man, I gotta get that book. So I just went and paid $20 for this Star Wars #1. And it was really just sort of like fear of missing out buy. I was like, oh, this is definitely going to go up and up and up and up. But it didn't really, I mean, it's still around $20 what I paid for it. It didn't go down, but it didn't like continue to climb or anything. And unless we see more of Black Chrysanthemum, I don't think, I mean, we will see more Black Chrysanthemum, that's for sure. But I'm just saying, until that happens, this will just, it's sort of static. But great cover. I love this cover because I had this action figure growing up, and so the action figure cover was something I wanted to add to the collection. We also have Spider-Man #13. This is the first appearance of Billy Morales, Miles' sister. Great cover there by what's his name? Javier Garron. Great cover there. All right, we're down to the last 1, 2, 3, 4 books in my collection. And I guess we'll go with this one first. Wonder Woman. Now, this is a key book, but it's a key because of the cover. So technically, this could have gone into the cover by list, but I kept it in the key list because this was kind of a later pickup. I picked it up in the last haul bit. So, but yeah, this is just a great classic cover with the Adam Hughes Wonder Woman, kind of meeting the classic old version. You know, modern meets kind of classic or traditional, old school, new school, old school. These kinds of covers are just fun. So, great image there. Next, now this one I don't know. It continues to find its way into stuff I want to show off for whatever reasons, but I think it was in my fight, best cover fights on Cole and Bearded's list, and it was one of the best modern books here. It's also a reprint, so this could actually gone in the best reprints, but we have it on this list. This is key because it's the second appearance of Red Hulk. So the first fight between She-Hulk and Red Hulk. Apparently Red Hulk is coming. That's the speculation. It's coming to MCU. So I think a book like this will be on everybody's radar. Not only is this a reprint, Hulk's 180 and 181. So you obviously want to have reprints of that classic issue. But it also has this great cover by Frank Cho. It also is, again, early appearance of the Red Hulk, and showcasing a classic battle between these two. So yeah, I mean, the more and more I think about this book, the more and more I just love it, and love that I have it in my collection. That's a PC book for sure. Alright, down the last 2 books, and these are kind of related to each other. We first have you know me, like, so for me, I collect really just 4 or 5 titles plus artists. I collect X-Men, I collect Spider-Man, I collect Batman and Superman, and then I'm trying to collect the Byrne run of Fantastic Four, and of course just Jim Lee books, John Byrne books, John Romita Jr. And I mean, I've gone over what kind of my collecting is, and that's kind of where my focus is. So again, we do collect Batman, and we try to pick up key books of Batman that we want. I'm trying to pick up a lot of copper Batman, bronze and copper Batman, which is, hard because it's stuff everybody kind of picks up or wants, and so prices are definitely, especially for some of the Bronze Age books, Batman Bronze Age is definitely, and not that they're like super expensive, but they're definitely not cheap. Superman, on the other hand, I think Superman's an easy Bronze Age pickup, just because I guess there's a lot of them, and I think the character has kind of, I don't know, I just feel like modern collectors just aren't focused on Superman for whatever reasons. I'm not one of those. I think Superman is definitely like older, at least the Bronze Age, Silver Age stuff, we're always trying to look to add. But anyway, I picked up this one just recently. Batman #1. It's the first print, Snyder Capullo, Volume 2, #1. And probably the top book. I mean, these both kind of fall in the same category, but this one is probably the #1 modern key pickup this year. And when I first picked this up, I was kind of like, I like the book, but if we can sell or trade it for something better, I'm down. But I don't feel that way anymore. This is definitely a book I want to keep in the collection. It's a rare second print, which is the red background. A great Capullo cover there. It's the first appearance of the Court of Owls, so big key book. And there's a lot of speculation that they're gonna probably make a movie debut here soon. They're already kind of like in terms of their presence in the Marvel animation stuff, they have a strong, they've already kind of been introduced and have a strong presence in the DC universe, so it only makes sense that at some point, they'll make their way to the DC universe as well. So big book there, and that's the top key we picked up. So yeah, let me know what you think of this list. Again, nothing like really just crazy. Oh my gosh, that's like a banger, like key. It's because we weren't focused on picking up modern books this year at all. Although we did pick up a lot of them, those were just sort of like, we came across them and picked them up. We weren't targeting them per se. So we're going to try to do less of picking up this era of books, because it's just, again, I think had I been collecting straight through, these books would probably have more value for me. But I think for a lot of collectors, nostalgia plays, and nostalgia is the real thing. This concept of like looking at the past and taking comfort in the past, and feeling, having it be like so having connections to the past that bring you kind of peace of mind, or just ease your anxiety. And I think what's great about this hobby is there's an element of that. There's an element of like, man, I had that book when I was a kid, or I had that book, like when things were good, when there was a good memories associated with having that book. And that's definitely true for me as well, growing up, and just being in my room reading these books, and just falling in love with the stories and the characters. So definitely there's a lot of that. And again, the past 22 years, that was a vacuum. There was a void. I did not read books. I did not, not vested in it. So maybe at some point I'll kind of go back. You know, I have been reading, for example, I've read some of the more modern Spider-Man. I've been reading some of the more modern Justice League, the Jim Chung run on Justice League. I started that. Or no, I also, sorry, not Jim Chung. Who is it? The I forget his name. Anyway, it's the one after that, I think. The Justice League after that. Great. It was good. You know, the modern stuff is really exciting and fun to get into. But again, it's not nostalgia there for me because I'm reading it now. I may want to collect it at some point later, but for now, I think I just want to collect the books that I grew up with, and so, you know, just like any other collector, you're just going to collect whatever era you've been in, whatever, you know. I'm sure even people that get into hobby that 10 years ago are looking for books from 10 years ago, right? They're focused on that. So that's where I am, and that's why Jim Lee. What's fun about Jim Lee is like he's just been a constant in that journey there. So, you know, having all that early stuff and then wanting to pick up his new stuff, that connection there keeps me current to wanting to pick up everything he's doing now, even 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, all that stuff. So that's what's been interesting. So yeah, I think our our 90s books, key books, is going to be a little bit more interesting in terms of like we were able to pick up a lot of cool stuff from the 90s, and yeah, the Copper Age should be pretty good. But again, I'm not going to have like Jim Lee, the artist, stuff in there. It's just going to be void of that. So look out for that. But anyway, yeah, this video is getting kind of dragging on, so thanks for watching, and keep digging your Young comics, and again, don't be afraid to pick up a book that you run across, even though it's not maybe in your focus. If you connect with it and you like it, just pick it up, because that's your own book. You're destined or fated to stumble upon that, and not picking it up would be a shame, because who knows when you could always go on eBay and buy it, but I'm just saying, that's no fun, right? All right, take care of yourselves, and again, I come out with more lists, so stay tuned for that. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.